Yep. That's right. That's right. I clickbaited you again. I bet you're sick of it. I bet you're sick of being clickbaited. It's not my fault, all of you. All of you are horny. You're all horny. You only click on the horny shit. I've learned this. I'm gonna force feed lore down your throat, even if I have to clickbait horny shit. I don't care. I've stooped that low at this point. So if you couldn't tell, I'm gonna be talking a little bit about lore today. Just a little bit about lore today. I even got the fancy hands out so that I can, you know, I'm using my hands. I'm gonna be expressionful. I can actually see my hands for once too, which is really nice. Because once again, new setup, so I have this. But today, I'm gonna be basically the main topic of today is going to be lore. I'm going to be like basically giving you a basic summary, reminders, as well as my future plans, what's happening, and show off a character that you've obviously seen in the thumbnail. Because like I feel like a lot of people who check out the clips or people that have come here more recently, the last time I talked about anything lore was like 4 months ago. There was a lore video, which I'm going to be talking about again. And before then it was like, unless you came to my streams or you were in my Patreon Discord, you really didn't. I don't talk about my lore that much because like clips are clips. Like this channel has a lot of clips on them and a lot of like you know, other content that wouldn't really show off like the extent of my lore and just how expansive it really is. So a lot of VTubers have something called lore. I am a writer. My main job is video editing and writing. Like those are things that I've done professionally before, and I've gotten paid to do jobs. I've edited before I was even a VTuber. I was an editor. I was editing people's debut videos. I was editing people's music videos. That's kind of my shtick before. When I was like, I started editing when I was like 12, 13, and I didn't stop editing until like 18, 19, where I took a small break and then, you know, focused on school and then, you know, continued editing. And before, well, and also while doing that, I also, you know, I get paid to write scripts. I am very, I've been commissioned and, well, maybe in the future contracted to write storylines for video games as well, like official games. So if there's two things I pride myself on, it's my editing and my storytelling, and my story is no different. I've put about 2 years into my story, and it's continuous and it's evolving, and I want it to be able to be so cool, and I want you to be able to dive into my world and fall in love with my universe, my characters, and the story that I'm trying to tell. And I even want you to be involved in my story as well. Which is why I want to give it like a little basic rundown, a little basic reminder, just so you know my lore does exist and the possibilities of stuff in the, you know, the future and things of that nature. So let me give a basic rundown of the lore, and keep in mind this commentary video, daily commentary. I didn't forget yesterday. Things popped up. I couldn't record a daily commentary yesterday. I apologize. I'm sorry. But there's not gonna, this isn't edited. This is fully straight from the mouth. So like if there's any mistakes, I'm not cutting it out, but I wouldn't, like, I'm not gonna make mistakes with my own lore, but you know, just keep that in mind. So this is like basic of the basic. I'm not doing editing, so it's like basic summary of the lore. So there's like 2 different types of lore that I have going on right now. There's Shiri lore, which revolves around myself, Shiri, where there's basically 3 and soon to be 4 main characters that are kind of based around Shiri and the flower shop, but Shiri is only a small part of the world in total. And that's where the other part of the lore comes in. It's just the lore of the entire world. There, like for example, there started off with 10 continents. There's now only 9 continents. I haven't really explained that too much in the lore yet because we haven't gotten to that part in the story. Spoiler alert, there's 9 continents. The 2 major ones that are focused on are the modern continent, which is called Usaga, and the magical continent, which is called Auroria or Auroratia, one of the 2. And basically that's where the main world story kind of takes place right now. So like there's two different stories that you can kind of look at. You can focus on me, which is Shiri lore, the people revolving around Shiri. And don't get me wrong, Shiri's like an important character in the world, like, you know, one of the more like world defining characters. But Shiri is just a character in the world, though. There's still so many other characters. There's so many like other important figures. There's so many other important details. Like the world doesn't revolve around Shiri. There's still other players in the game. There's still other, you know, things to explore. There's still entire continents that haven't been discovered yet. Shiri is just what you are focused on because, you know, it's the content creator. You're seeing my story. You're watching my story unfold, though there is a greater stories and more stories just involving the world and the other people that are in the world itself. And so basically that's where like the interactive nature kind of shows here, because one of the things that I'm planning to do, and something that I am doing and did do and am continuing to do, is right now I have 2 DMs. For sure there might be, I'm hoping to get like maybe 3 and 4. They're gonna be paid DMs, like they're dungeon masters. There's it's technically not called D&D, since we're going to be doing Pathfinder 2e eventually, of basically the Shiriverse, the Shiri world. Like basically my lore. You're going to be able to play I think it's called TTRPG, tabletop RPG game, where it's like, it's basically Dungeons and Dragons, but it's not the people that made, you know, Sword of the Coast or whatever. So it's technically called a TTRPG. I believe that's the correct terminology for it. It's not D&D, but the simple Benoy mind makes me think, oh, it's just Shiri D&D. It's not technically D&D because we're not using, you know, that system. And I've had a few people bonk me on the noggin when trying to talk about that. But basically, I have hired basically DMs that will be working on a bunch of different campaigns, all of which were in the world. And also I have hired an artist who, which is what you've seen in the thumbnail, is going to be creating and designing characters with the, you know, obviously my input, my help. They're going to be bringing my ideas to life. And going to be creating between like 4 to 16 characters a month. Also that within this year, hopefully within this year, we're going to be able to have the Shiriverse TTRPG or Shiriverse Shiribun D&D, where like you can literally be in this world. Like you can be in the Shiri world, you can be canon. You know, right now you are a fluffle. Every single person that's subscribed is a fluffle. Anyone who's watching this, if you have subscribed to me, if you follow me on Twitch, if you follow me on Twitter, anything like that, you are a fluffle. You're a cute little bean. You are a tiny little lad. The fluffle has their own lore, by the way. Once again, I have gone through my entire lore and summarized it in a more expansive way. The video is going to be linked down below. It's going to be put in the corner of the screen as well. It'll be in that little time, that little eye, the eye icon thingy, where it's like a video like shows up and it's like, click here and whatever, and I'll have like text, and you can click there. I'm also making a playlist. You're going to be able to look at the lore. You'll be able to, if this is something that enjoys you, excites you, storytelling, story building, world building, it is what I am passionate about. I really enjoy talking about this stuff, and if you're into it, I'd love for you to fall in love with my world, you know. And basically they are going to be creating characters, and like I'm actually going to be showing you an example of one of the characters they're currently working on. And you're going to be able to be canon in the Shiri universe. You're going to be able to directly affect things. You're going to be able to directly affect the story. You're going to be able to follow along. You're going to be able to, like, who knows, maybe if you get far enough down the line and you're in the TTRPG for like 2 or 3 years, you might end up like actually being a character in the story. Because I am planning on writing books in the future and stuff like that. So you could literally Like, you could literally be in my book. You could be a character in my book if you like, if you make a name for yourself, you know, you make a name for yourself in the universe. I say universe, it's really just one world. I'm not a whole big fan of the universe shenanigan things where there's a ton of different planets and stuff like that. I haven't been messing with that stuff so far. It's just one world, nothing too fancy. But without further ado, let me show you the character, and let me just give you a little bit of a so this is Chu. This is Chu. This is the character design for Chu. It's not complete yet. It's not totally done yet. It's still a work in progress. This is the first work in progress so far of the like newer characters. And basically they're one of the important characters. And let me how do I do it? Like to try and get you in, I guess, a little invested and stuff like this. So each one of the characters. So there's the modern continent, there's the magical continent. So I kind of do stuff in sevens, where there are 7 countries in the modern continent. There's 7 regions, which is the country equivalent in the magical continent. And so of course there's important people in both places. So for example, the magical continent has like a high council where there's a representative from every single region, and there's always, you know, people of power and stuff like this. And you know, it's one of the, it's cool stuff, cool people. I'd be able to explain this a lot better if I had a script. And like, it's just, there's so much lore. There's so much lore that I wouldn't be able to give it to you coherently if I didn't have something written down. Because there's, at this point, it's like, it's been 2 years in the making. I'm sure a lot of you haven't exactly seen it all, haven't exactly like been able to nom on it. It just, you know, which is why I seriously recommend, if this is interesting at all to you, if this is appealing to you, if I've managed to clickbait my way into your mind, please watch the video that's gonna be in this corner, pinned down here. I'm not gonna try to blow out your brain right now with like how far I can go into the story. I'm just gonna, you know, basically lay out my ideas. I'm hoping within the next year, there's going to be a new chapter of the manga. There's a manga right now. There's only 1 chapter of the manga. I want to try and at least start writing the book. And I'm hoping by the end of the year, there will be the official Shiribun Universe TTRPG game, where you can join in. It'll be, of course, there's only one caveat to it, and it's basically, you have to be a Patreon member in order to join the D&D, because I am paying the artist a lot of money a month, and I'm also paying the DMs, so I do have to make some money back, which would be the only negative thing about the Shiribun Universe D&D would be, when it does happen, it will be a kind of paid thing. But that's in the future. Who knows? There's a chance it'll change if I randomly get like 1 million subscribers and I make a ton of money via like through YouTube, then it won't matter. I could just make it free to play, you know? Like it literally, you wouldn't even have to go through Patreon if I just blow up on YouTube. Who knows? Who knows? Just make me millions and then I won't have to worry about money and I can just focus on this stuff, you know? But this is Chu. This character design is Chu. They have a very, you know, I like to think my characters are very unique. All of them have their own interests. All of them have their own unique personality. And I am really proud of Chu. I think Chu has such an interesting story. I'm a little sad that I can't delve into it because it would be spoilers if you did, you know, you did end up joining and stuff like that. But this is Chu. Chu's a good boy. Chu's a very good boy. They're very adorable. They're very cute. Well, they're hot. I lied. They're hot. They're probably the most. So if I was ever to have like a sus character, this would be the sus character. Like Shiri is not sexual. I am not sexual as a person, like most of the time. Like I'm not really sexual. That's not my drive, you know. Chompers, which is, you know, but there's more lore. If you look into it, Chompers is another main character. There's basically a cast of like 3 main characters. There's a secret 4th one that no one's met yet, but you'll get there eventually. It's Chompers, Yuki, and Shiri. Yuki used to fuck a lot. They kind of toned down. They were supposed, you know, they're the hot fox man. See, now this one would fuck a lot. This one, yeah, they definitely. Now this one is the one where they're definitely the sexual character. If there was a sexual character, this is a sexual character. Chompers is a good boy. Chompers would never do anything lewd or weird or anything like that. And yeah, I just kind of, you know, this is a little, I feel like this video was more all over the place than I really wanted it to be. If I talk about lore, I kind of want to write down scripts in the future. And this is also me saying that a lot of the commentary videos in the future, a good few of them will be diving more into the lore. It'll be more bite-sizable chunks rather than, you know, not. So basically, I would make one video about a specific place, like for example a region in Aurora. It could be, you know, like Kamimaru, which has all the animal people and stuff, and I'll just make an entire video just delving into that. It'll be a bite-sizable chunk, it'll have a lot of details about this specific place, and it'll be plopped in the playlist. The only real problem that I have with doing that is just it's really hard to clickbait lore. I am able to clickbait this because it is hot man. So it's like I need to have some way of snagging people's attention. And I didn't talk about the hot man as much as I wanted to. I don't want to clickbait you too hard where it's like only 5% of the video is what you watched. But at the end of the day, I want people to get into my lore. I want people to enjoy my lore. I want people to actually like fall in love with my universe, which is why I strongly suggest you checking out the lore. And it's why I'm going to be talking about lore in the future. And I'm gonna find my own way to be able to basically make my videos. There's gonna be a playlist. You know, the main video of course will be the main summary, but then I do plan on going into basically the chunks of information. I might go over specific characters that have a lot of stuff about them, like Shiri. There could be a few videos about Shiri. You know, the videos about Chompers, video about Yuki, video about, you know, Chew in the future. You know, just videos about stuff. And in the future, when we do get the TTRPG game up and running, I would like to have a few videos about that, whether it be, you know, talking about it commentary style, or maybe even recording a few sessions just so that you could see how it's like. Anyway, I feel like I've kind of rambled on enough. I don't want to make this video too long. It's just kind of a like awareness check of I have a lot of lore. If you like lore and you like storytelling and you like world building and you're a complete nerd like me, please check out the other video. There will be a playlist so you have easy access to it and anything lore related. You know, it'll be down in the description as well. And if you're really into it, there's also like a 2-hour-long lore Q&A video that's right next to the other lore video. I just know that we have a bunch of new faces, we have a bunch of new eyes, and we probably have a few people that just haven't seen the lore video. So I just kind of wanted to bring that to your guys' attention, especially if you're invested in me. This is one of the things I am like most passionate about, and something that I'm so excited to just show more of. And that's like one of the biggest things I'm excited about. And hopefully you liked Chew. Hopefully you liked the sample of what's to come. This is the first, well, this thing right here. This here is the first like design from my artist that I've hired to do more designs. It's not finished yet, but this is a sample, a taste of what's to come. I have such huge plans, and I'm excited to get through them all and do them and, you know, enjoy. And I hope you're able to enjoy it as well. If you have any questions regarding the TTRPG, any questions regarding my lore, any questions regarding anything at all, please leave a comment, you know, whether it be talking about Chew, questions about Chew, questions about me, questions about lore, questions about the TTRPG game, questions about anything. I'd be glad to either respond to them in the comments or even just make an entire video about it if it's an interesting enough question or topic that I feel that like needs to be expanded upon. So please don't be shy. Please comment if you have an idea in your head and you want to express it. I promise I see them. I stalk my comments, I swear. And yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. I'm sorry for missing yesterday's commentary video. My time got snagged from me. Something that I thought was going to take 1 hour, 2 hours ended up taking 7 hours, and by the time I was finished and free, it was 1 a.m. and there was no way I was gonna have a video up in any amount of sane time. But yeah, that's it. That's the video. Like it if you if you liked it. If you liked the video, make sure to leave a like. If you didn't like it, I'll kill you and your family, stab everything that you love, including your pets and family. Please leave an algorithmic comment down below. And if you've made it this far and you haven't subscribed and this sounds interesting to you, I would say that you should. I'm not personally the type of person that subscribes to people myself, even when they do this little message. So, you know, maybe you do. Maybe you do, or maybe this changed your mind, you know? But I'm assuming if you hit the subscribe button, YouTube is more likely to recommend my videos to you. And I'm pretty sure it puts that notification bell on, so you'd actually know when I upload, whether it be a clip or an actual video. So, that's it. That's it. Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye.